Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Water Bottles. About 15 years ago, I worked at an insurance company. The building we leased had awful tap water, so the company had those big water jugs delivered. One of the new hires, Carla, didn't like all the jugs, full or empty, stacking up along one wall of the break room. Now, Carla was one of those people who complained about everything. The office was either too hot or too cold. The work was unfairly distributed, and on. So she complained about the water jugs. And as a result, the number of bottles delivered every 2 weeks was cut down significantly. A few of us on staff didn't appreciate that, so we came up with a plan. We started drinking as much water as possible every day. After just 1 week, all of the jugs were empty. With no delivery scheduled for another week, the only thing left in the break room was an empty jug. One day the boss comes in to fill up his cup and finds no water. He asks where the full jugs are, and I tell him Carla didn't like having a stack of water jugs, so we had fewer delivered. Carla never complained about the water again. The next story is called Grill Tyrant. So last summer I'm at this neighborhood barbecue. Sun's out, drinks are cold, and I'm ready to show off my smoked ribs game. Think tender, smoky perfection that steals the show. It's a chill potluck vibe, but then this guy, let's call him Karen, crowns himself grill overlord and lays down the law like he's guarding some sacred flame. No one uses the grill but me, he declares, flipping burgers like he's on a cooking show. One dish at a time, mine first, then maybe you get a shot. I'm standing there, cooler in hand like, bro, it's a huge grill. Can't I just toss my ribs on the side? They need time. Nope, one at a time. My rules. He's smirking, so I bite my tongue. Alright Karen, let's see how this plays out. He does this burger thing, taking forever, while my ribs chill in their marinade. The crowd's eating, but I'm planning. His turn's finally done, and he waves me in. Go ahead. Here's where I get a little strategic. I had already smoked the ribs at home for a couple of hours that morning. Low and slow, 3-to-1 style. Wrapped them tight, brought them ready to finish. Not fully pre-cooked, just prepped to rin. I fire up the grill, slide the ribs on, and sneak a foil trail of applewood chips in the corner. Smoke rolls out. Thick, sweet, pure temptation. Karen's over there, chomping his burger, when heads start turning. What's that smell? People wander over, noses up, already drooling. I'm brushing sauce, all casual, just ribs. Takes a bit, hope that's cool. His burgers? Yesterday's news. The crowd's around me now, begging for a taste. He storms up. You're smoking out my grill. One dish at a time, right? I'm just following orders. I flip a rib, smoke curling like a victory flag. He tries to step in. Let me cook. Nah, my turn's still going. Your rule. I stretch it out, tending the ribs, tweaking the chips, chatting with the crowd about low and slow magic. It takes over an hour, and by then, Karen's reign is over. Everyone's piling ribs onto their plates, raving, while his burger tray sits there, sad and cold. At the end of the night, the host slaps my shoulder. Dude, you own the grill next time. Say less. Karen thought he'd rule the barbecue, but I smoked him out with a little planning and a whole lot of patience. The last story is called Proving a Point. This happened a few years ago when I worked at McDonald's. The location I worked at was near a bunch of schools, so most of the staff were high school students. When summer vacation started, we ran into a problem. Employees would take their break, eat their meal, and then hang around the kitchen chatting with their friends who were still working. This wasn't just hurting productivity, it was also a health and safety concern. So our manager put a new rule in place. If you were on break, you had to stay in the break room until your break was over. Simple enough, and it worked well, until summer ended. Once school was back in session, we had a new problem. Short staffing during breaks meant our order time skyrocketed during rushes. Management decided to lift the rule, so employees on break could clock in early and help out when things got busy. But the district manager didn't like the idea of employees working shortened or skipped breaks and reinstated the rule. To make things even stricter, they added that anyone who tried to work during their scheduled break would be written up or even terminated. Cue my moment to follow the rules to the letter. The date? 4/20. A day when no one wants to be working at any fast food place, much less McDonald's. We had been slammed with orders from the moment we opened, to the point where we had to call in extra help from other stores, including the regional and district managers themselves. At first, things were running smoothly. Thanks to the extra hands, our ticket times were under 2 minutes. But then my break came around. Just as I sat down to eat, someone walked in and ordered 47 double quarter pounders. This was right after McDonald's introduced the fresh beef initiative, so every quarter pounder was made to order. Already stressful. Then right after that, a drive-through order came in for 75 20-piece nugget meals. The panic in the kitchen was real. Meanwhile, I was sitting comfortably in the break room, enjoying my meal and browsing my phone while the kitchen scrambled. As ticket time started creeping up, management did exactly what I expected. The district manager stormed into the break room and demanded that I end my break early and help out. My response? I'm sorry, but according to the rules you made, I could be written up or terminated for doing that. Then I casually went back to my phone. Then the regional manager came in, visibly frustrated, and said that if I didn't help, he would personally terminate me. At that moment, another employee, who was also on break, stood up, clocked in early, and jumped in to help. After the shift, she got written up for breaking the rule, which just confirmed that I had made the right call by staying put. The customers who placed the giant orders took what was made after half an hour and got refunded for the rest, about $150 each. Customers with smaller orders were given gift cards for their patience, but many walked out without even taking their food. We handed out about $1,500 in gift cards. Because people left without picking up their orders, we had nearly $5,000 in food waste. The closing crew all went home that night with bags of burgers, fries and nuggets. The regional and district managers were moved to a different region. The break rule was updated. Employees could now clock in early at the manager's discretion during a rush. Since I was the only one who held my ground against the managers, I was rewarded with free meals and drinks for as long as I worked there. Even now, when I visit my hometown, a few employees who still remember me sometimes sneak me a manager discount. Sometimes following the rules exactly as written can be the best way to prove a point. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.